Boy, that's been a morning.
Yeah, it has been morning. It's 12:18 of both devices. They're only a few minutes late.
At the rate we're going, I guess we'll just be happy we're here at all. So,
Yeah, we should just be happy.
do you need to share that? Or did you get a share?
I shared it on Secrets. I don't know what I shared it to. I shared it on small YouTubers and Making Word. I put the correct link in.
All right. Well, here's your chat. And if anybody still remembers that we were supposed to go live and sees that it actually finally came out.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a morning. We've had a morning. We went out to feed cows, and before we were done with the cows, my face itches. What?
You're supposed to touch your face.
Well, I don't want to touch my face anyway because.
Don't touch your face. Don't touch your face.
Before we were done feeding cows, Nathan had to come up and start getting the live stream ready. But he was having all kinds of troubles with the camera. And then the microphone's not working, I don't think. So we're just using the sound off the GoPro, which should be fine, hopefully. Hopefully you can hear this. But, so Nathan had come in the house before me. And just locked the door out of habit, I guess, probably. And I couldn't get in the house when I came back up. I guess that'll teach me for not carrying a set of keys on me when I go out to do chores. But I'm in the house now. Hopefully we're live. Everyone can hear us, or anyone who joins us can hear us. So right now Nathan's updating the links on Facebook to find us. So hopefully people can find us. But if you're watching this right now, you're probably watching the replay. So let's see.
Hey, Katie. It's not getting any better, guys. It's not getting any better. I almost fell out of my chair. Oh.
We might just have to give up. Go back to bed and start again later in a few hours. Whew. One of those mornings.
Hey.
Hi, Grandma, so happy.
Happy birthday. It was today, wasn't it? 25. Look.
25.
425.
Saturdays aren't always super hard for us. Today has been. She said yes, it is her birthday.
Good.
Should we say happy birthday?
I'm not going to.
We'll just compromise. I'll just say happy birthday, Vonnie.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna sing happy birthday. That was a busy morning.
Yeah.
Trying to get the cows fed before it rained made for a really, really busy morning.
And now I hope it doesn't rain. I hope it doesn't rain for a while because I could go back out as soon as this is over. I took a break to come in here, but work's never done outside, I guess. Especially when spring hits here. There's always something to do. You're welcome. I'm always glad to be able to wish people happy birthday, especially in these crazy times that we're living in, because it's not like in most places you're allowed to go celebrate with your family, which was really sad, but It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, no.
Oh, my 2 viewers. It's getting better. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to use the GoPro we always use for video this morning, and it didn't want to let me use it. It was telling me that I didn't have any source for my video, and I did.
There's something in my eye.
We've been I'm going the wrong way. It's over there, but
What, the seeds?
yeah, we've been planting.
Looks like
Working
I'm
on
off
planting
this
stuff. Yeah, we've been working on planting stuff. We have sweet potatoes back here that we're still trying to baby along. I don't think they're quite ready to move to their own jars and get some roots on them, but we'll be real soon. And then we planted.
But we didn't plant anything.
Well, technically we didn't. Technically we didn't plant anything. You're right.
Well, we
started seed.
Yeah, we started. We're trying the wet paper towel method. Let's see, can I think you can see.
Open it for sure you can.
Those are strawberry seeds. Then these are all flower seeds. The marigolds are to plant with my tomatoes. Then there's calendula seeds in the middle, and then the little tiny seeds are
red poppy, right?
Yeah, just because they look pretty. And then here are, because these are peppers, I was thinking these were tomatoes, but
there's some tomatoes in there.
Let's see. These seeds right here are tomato seeds. And then the other 3 varieties are all pepper seeds. We did these, was it Wednesday morning?
Yeah, really early.
So it's been 2 full days now. So we started these 2 days ago at like 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's when we had time. But this is our first year ever trying the paper towel method. But we still got kind of a late start. Other growers, one of the greenhouses that I follow, he's already got like pepper plants that are that tall. So we're on the late end of the spectrum. So we wanted to get a head start and only plant ones that had germinated and not waste the space for ones that hadn't germinated. So we planted about double what we actually want to end up with. Maybe more on the tomatoes, because we planted over 70. We started over 70 tomato seeds, so we probably don't even. Well, 35 wouldn't be too bad.
I was gonna say I'd be happy with 35. We probably have more tomatoes than we could figure out what to do with.
But last year we got tomatoes from my mom, and if she doesn't plant any, I mean there was 4 tomato plants that we didn't have here last year, so.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you want to go wash up?
I probably should just go wash up because it's really bothering me.
Okay, go wash up.
Because my eye really itches.
Yeah, we tried to shoot some chore footage this morning too, so I had the camera out there, which didn't help anything because sometimes that makes things slower, and it wasn't helping today. So, but we were trying to see if we could pull together. I don't remember if Josh put it out yet, but Josh at the City Stead had asked for people to put some morning chores together, and so we were trying to put some morning chores together. And so we were trying to do that, and I didn't think it would be that hard. Turned out to be slightly harder than I thought, but trying to figure out where best to put the comments here. I've got the mic in a little bit different spot this morning, but
I got the dirt on my arm.
You feel better now?
Still hurts. I didn't wash my arms up. I just washed my hands up. I'm not planning on.
Don't put your arms in
I'm
your
not
eye.
planning on putting my arm in my eye. So, and then, but I was gonna say on those tomatoes, I did one of every kind that I had. So then I found more than my brother had given me.
So that means we have to start more?
Well, we have 2 more tomato varieties and a blanket flower. Some guy at work had bought them and left them there. And then he doesn't work there any longer.
The person that bought them?
The person that bought them. So my brother inherited his desk. They were in the desk and he didn't want them, so he brought them home and I ended up with them. But one of the packets is blanket flower, and I've never heard of a blanket flower. I probably should go get that. I know where it's at. I'll be back again.
Hey, Jim. She's gone again. It's a revolving door. I'm gonna have to just leave it open. And Jim, it's been quite a morning, but I think it's settling down now. It's afternoon now, so I can say that it's okay now. So we started a bunch of seeds though back here, and I don't have any pictures of it yet. Now we can talk about it. I don't have any pictures of it yet, but I started my beehives.
You don't have any pictures?
I don't. I went and looked, and I don't have any pictures of what we started on the beehives, but
yeah, this is what this is the blanket flower. I don't know. I'm gonna try it, but I've never heard of it. It says it's a perennial, so try it. Oh, one of those cherry seeds is a large red cherry.
okay.
More
Large red.
I probably don't have to start that one because
that's probably one of our one of our favorite producers last year.
But we already planted a bunch of them, so, or started. Nike gotta quit saying planted because.
Well, I don't know. Well, it's planted. Somebody tell me. Can we call it planted? I don't think we can probably call it planted, but somebody tell me.
I don't quite think that that's planting. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. We're germinating seeds.
Hey, that might be that. We use that one. So I'm sure that's a germination process.
We're testing the germination. There we go. Yeah.
Well, we did count every seed we put in.
Yeah.
All 39 little tiny poppy seeds that fell out there. I mean,
you didn't count the strawberry seeds, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you didn't write it down.
I counted them though. I don't
Maybe
remember.
That was 39. Anyway,
there was a bunch more strawberry seeds than I thought there was.
So hopefully we get more of those strawberry seeds because we really like our strawberries. I have no idea. He got it though, so.
I did. Just like exterminate. But that was not a Dalek voice, but I got a lot closer to Terminator there. But
okay. So we started our seeds, some of them anyway. Let's see. We've been working on our beehives. We got a lot of the beehive done. I mean, like the actual cutting out of the boards. Still need to do some.
Is that Illdale? Did I say that?
Something like that.
Isledale Homestead. Probably mispronounced that, but I tried. Give me a gold star for
A for effort.
For participation there.
But you started cutting out the beehives, and was that the first time? That's probably the first time you ever did. What are those?
All the tongue and groove joints.
The tongue and groove joints.
I was gonna say the beehives we chose to make are the Layens highs. that Dr. Leo talks about and uses at his place. And so I'm having to make all the components of that.
So he cut the boards out. Well, I guess I helped cut them. I was the helper.
I never cut tongue grooves, and I'm not. There's probably only one out there that I'm really happy with the way it fits, but I think they'll all be functional and they'll all add the strength that they were designed to add.
Would you do 6 of them? Like 6 of each, right?
Well, and then we did those thinner ones for the bottoms.
No. Oh, so there's 10, right? Because there's.
Oh yeah, you're right, 6 of each. Because I cut 8 of each board, so.
So there was 6 tongues and 6 screws.
Yeah.
So we're still beginning. So even if you just got one that you're happy with, that's pretty good for your first 6, I guess.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
Is it warm down there? Because it's not that warm here today. The wind, it looks nice out. Like, when we looked out, I was like, oh, it's not going to be too bad a day. We'll just bundle up. And it was really windy.
Well, if you're out there actually working, I took my jacket off.
Well, I didn't really think it would be bad if I was working. And by the time I got back to the field, I was plenty warm.
And I need to wash
But
my
it
jacket
was, but it was very, very, very windy. And I wasn't expecting that. Doesn't feel that windy here, but once you get out in the field, it is.
Yeah. Out in the open. And it was funny though, because I mean we live out in the country, but people who live in town not that far away, they're like, oh, it's not windy here. I'm like, well, it's windy here without other houses around you to block the wind.
So I was going to say,
looks can be deceiving.
Once we get up in that pasture in particular is one of the highest ones on the farm, and it definitely, there's plenty of wind up there.
I might have to go take a nap before I go. I don't have time.
Before what?
I go back outside.
Oh, I thought you had other stuff you need to do before rain.
Yeah, no, I gotta go back. That's why I said I gotta go back outside. If I don't have time to take a nap today.
What?
It's only 80 there in Texas. I think it's like 60 here, but with the wind chill, it probably doesn't feel 60.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, it's even cold. It says it's 48.
It's probably a nap day, but it's a Saturday, so.
No, it's 58.
We'll work real hard and then we'll take our siesta. No?
Probably tomorrow.
Well, that's like layout and tan weather, Jim.
Yeah. 90 here is like June.
See, I couldn't remember where you were located, Irondale.
2:30. Wow. Thank you for joining us in the middle of your night. I know how that is. Sometimes you just can't sleep or you're prevented from being sleeping.
I was going to say, if Australia wants to join us, it's the middle of the night. Just always. Our days are their nights, so. Crispy critter. I'm already a critter, so I mean, you know. I don't. Yeah, the beehives I think are going to turn out real nice. It looks like anyway.
Hopefully we get those done this week.
It's we haven't seen any bees anywhere yet, so I think we're still ahead of the swarm. But I really like to get them finished, and I'm gonna try to build them so that they're blocked off. We can block off half the hive and use them as swarm traps to begin with.
We really want to catch a swarm to have bees that are already adapted to our area. But if we don't catch any swarms this year, we're planning on trying to buy a package or 2 next year. We'll probably have to build some more hives again, but
say these aren't really too hard to build so far. I'm thinking that I may speak too soon about that though, because I haven't tried to build the frames that go in them, and I think they're probably supposed to be much more exact to fit in the hive. But I know. I'm really excited for you guys, Jim. I'm hoping the bees just come to us again. Because the hive we did have out in the woods that
we were hoping to catch a swarm off of.
Yeah, the one we were hoping to catch a swarm off of. We went out 2 or 3 times this spring, and I'm pretty sure that hive's empty. So I'm sad that one's gone, but I knew it was an eventuality. Even if the tree stayed up, it probably wasn't going. They probably weren't going to stay there forever, because all the trees around it that offer protection to that tree have fallen down.
Not all of them, but
well, most of them. A lot of the ones that were closest to it.
So
we'll try to trap a swarm here. As I say, I thought even if we don't get one right away, if we don't have a lot. Hi, Wiccan chickens. Even if we don't have a lot of.
I think it's Missy. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say hi, Missy. I'm pretty sure I'm so bad with names. Sometimes. Anyway. But so Missy. I interrupted you.
Well, I was thinking that I know some people that keep bees locally here, so if I can't get if they have a problem with a split, then maybe I can want a split, then maybe I can get bees anyway, so.
Yeah, I'd like some bees. Has some of her own honey.
I'd prefer to have local ones, so I'd like to catch a swarm. But...
So, we talked about
beehives.
Starting seeds and beehives.
You need to do an update video in the greenhouse.
It took, yeah, I went out yesterday, but I don't think I didn't go out the day before, because it was pretty cold here, so I just left it shut up I didn't let any colder air than I had to. And I went out yesterday and I was shocked. It seems like it doubled in size during the 36 hours or whatever that I hadn't went out to the greenhouse.
Seems like it grows so fast.
My peas, I have 18 pea plants, and there's a couple that are a little bit taller than the rest of them, and they really shot up over the.
I was gonna say they're starting to grab the.
I'm gonna have to train some of them, but yeah.
Built. We're gonna try to transplant some of them away.
Trade them up because some of them are growing away from it. I gotta train them back to the. But yeah, my peas are looking. I'm kind of disappointed with my beets, but it was just.
I was gonna say the beets probably did the best though.
No, there's not that many beet plants. So some of the radishes did really good. That one kind didn't come up hardly at all. There was just the one kind of radish that didn't come up.
You have bees, Crystal? I know you guys have room. Some people have problems with spraying. I think that we have enough room here that we can keep away from the spray, but I know
we have enough.
Haskins family blog has trouble with spraying, and they can't have bees there.
Well, I don't know if they've ever tried, but they can't. I know she said they can't grow.
They really can't.
They can't grow tomatoes because of
hey,
rice fields.
Copperhead Road, Homestead.
Oh, sorry, we missed you. Hello. But yeah, we can. We have conventional farms all surrounding us here, but with the amount of land we have, and
we have about between 70 and 80 acres of pasture here. So
we have the ditch that runs through to provide. It would be a good, we thought about putting them around the fencing off areas, a couple along the ditch, because I think that'd be a good spot for bees, and then putting some in the woods. The only problem is at certain times of the year, or different times of the year, our cows are in every part of the farm. So we just have to protect the beehives from the cows. Which, I don't know why. It did not dawn on me until last week. I'm because the cows will rub, especially bulls, will rub on stuff. So you cannot just leave the beehives out in the pasture or whatever. It didn't dawn on me. So we're going to have to either come up with some kind of fencing or Like some kind of portable fencing, probably. But without it being electric, because we don't have electric to, 90% of the farm or something. What music do you listen to?
Leanna.
I'm having a hard time keeping up with chat for some reason. I don't know.
Is it in the wrong spot? Well, I was gonna put it over here, but then I felt like that wasn't looking at the camera. Okay.
I listen to ukulele music.
Yeah, that's what Jerry's been listening to, a lot of ukulele music. Jerry just ordered 2 custom ukuleles because she really wants to learn to play. So,
but they weren't like super custom, but they are made in Minnesota. I didn't tell him that. I talked to him on the phone, and I didn't say they were from Minnesota. But when I called, before they answered, it said Minnesota on there. So I go, I'm calling Minnesota. Most people probably don't think that's as funny as I do, but I think it's hilarious. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of ukulele music.
Maybe someday, GDP. No, when I'm just out, I listen to really old country music usually. When I'm out in the garage working, or old.
That's not what you used to listen to.
But sometimes I listen to new country music, but I don't really call that country. I know I used to listen to a lot of rock, Christian rock, but rock.
She says they're no longer Minnesota. So I had to take a hiatus from calling that till about September. What's the beep? I don't know. Is it maybe it's the computer?
Possibly the computer's getting picked up. I can see about putting see if we can fix that. I'll work on it.
Late October, that's about when we can expect snow, a little bit of snow anyway. So it's really not that far. You're ringing now.
It's just...
Yeah. Nathan's had some excitement this week, but I'll let him tell you about that. That's yeah, it might be I don't know what it is. It could be the computer, it could be, because the computer fan is running really. When we do these lives, something about whatever software, I don't know if it's the OBS software or what, but it really kicks the hard drive into overtime over here. I think he'll be back. Yep, there he is.
Still trying to get rid of the beeping.
Was it important?
No, it wasn't important.
You probably haven't. I wasn't on that one. You didn't say anything about your excitement this week.
I didn't. I don't know. Maybe that fixed it or helped. I hope.
Aw, she has baby chicks. I don't have any baby chicks.
I hope that helped the beeping, but I don't know. I don't have. Not set up today to hear what's going out, so.
Leanna has baby chicks and more coming next month. I thought about ordering some, but
I was gonna say we're gonna have to probably get some ordered for
but I'm trying to hold off
some meat birds. But I was trying to hold off because it seemed like there was a lot of excitement in ordering birds right now, and so I was trying to hold off on that. And last year we got
Did the beeping go away, everybody? I
mean, my computer is carrying on this morning, and I'm not really sure, or this afternoon now, and I'm not really sure why it's not really doing anything.
But it always does when we're doing the lives. It always.
Well, I know that it does sometimes, but beeping did not go away.
But last year, it was in April, I think, when I got the baby chicks. But I haven't been going to the feed store, and that's where I got them last year for 25 cents a piece. So, and that was the only reason I got them that early. So they could be at the feed store for 25 cents a piece. I just haven't went in and checked, I guess. I've been trying to avoid going out if I can. I went there. It's been about 3 weeks since I went to the feed store, and they had chicks, but they were all just freshly hatched ones. They were all less than a week old. That you have to wait till they get feathered to go on clearance. Oh, that sounds like something I would do. The oven's beeping.
They say we've done similar things, I'm sure. I'll try changing mics again.
I don't know.
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, well, they can still. I can see they can still hear us, but whether it's better, I don't know.
So has the beeping went away? Yeah, I've heard that a whole bunch of people are getting chickens, and I'm just like, well, I still have chicken in the freezer, and I still got plenty of laying hens. I want to butcher all these laying hens at the end of the year, just because they keep eating my eggs. They still lay fine. Just some days you go out there and there's 17 eggs, and some days you go out there and there's 7. You get 7 good ones, and the rest are all broke because they ate them and left the shells, which makes me throw. Did you see it's worse?
Yeah, I see.
Oh. I'm sorry, everybody. I have no idea.
Jerry doesn't do audio, huh?
My tech man's on it. So, but what kind? If I order new laying hens, what breed should I get? What's everyone's favorite breed? I really like. I was to say my favorite breed might be Buff Orpingtons. I really liked those when they had those. One year I got a silver laced Wyandotte. Now we just had one. We had a hen and a rooster, because I only ordered 2 and we just got 50-50. Just what the luck of the draw was. That hen was mean, so I probably won't get one of those.
Well, I figured it is the fan on the computer, but I had it fixed so that you couldn't hear it. And I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's fixed anymore, but
Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of having a whole bunch of different colored eggs with the Easter eggers, but I just have never had them. We've always just had either brown or white egg layers, just because that's what from a catalog. Most of the time we just go get whatever's on clearance. So, but this year I'm thinking about actually ordering some, and so I hope everything's okay with your granddaughter. We've had Rhode Island Reds, and again we got them at the feed store. Those things were mean. They actually tore. We saved her. She lived, but I don't know why. They just tore all the skin off one of the other one's backs. Like, you could actually see her. It was a pretty good chunk too. And she lived. We called her Tuffy after that because we've had a few experiences with chickens, I guess. Because we had Tuffy, and then we had Stumpy. That was another chicken that we had. And we have black Australorps right now, and I like them. They're good. For the most part, they're good temperamented towards us. Now, once in a while, they will peck your feet for whatever reason, but they eat my eggs. I've never had Americanas or the light Brahmas. Yeah, we've had some bad luck with chickens, and then we've had really good luck with other chickens. Missy, that sounds like it hurt, but and you can't even probably go in to be with her. Like, no one can probably go in with her, which is so scary that you have to go in by yourself, because I've been in the ER and it's just not a fun place to be in. Yeah. Hi, Dahlia. We are talking about chickens.
She heard about it.
She must have picked it up through the ways of the. I was talking about ordering some new chickens, and just asking what everyone's favorite breed was. Well, that's good they let her mom go in with her, because that would, especially for someone that young, it would be. Yeah, Katie, I understand about not having about the chickens in the city, because we used to live in town, and I guess I emailed the whoever was in charge of the ordinances, and I asked, and they're like, no, you're not allowed. Well, they didn't say no. They said if your neighbors complained about them, that they would come take them away. Well, the neighbors on the one side of us, he was a grumpy old man, so we didn't even bother, because he complained about everything. But it was a small little road, but like just across the street there was and she still lives there, it was one of the county commissioners. Now I heard through the grapevine that she has chickens now, but she came and asked everyone before she got them, and on that side of the street they're all fine with it. And I'm not even sure, I mean, if our old neighbor is still alive. I don't know. I've never asked. I don't think I've ever heard that he isn't, but yeah. So we didn't even try when we were in town. But then, like, I heard, I saw that Scotty's getting chickens, or already has chickens. I don't know. He lives in town, and it's not exactly a no situation with it. Let's see. Trying to catch up on the.
Trying to catch up with your chat?
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know what our meanest rooster was. One of the white ones, maybe? The two that we have right now, they weren't bad until 2 days ago. Nathan looked out the window, and I never heard anything, but Nathan was out in the garage working. And I was cooking in the kitchen, and the chickens are right behind the kitchen right now. And he goes, what happened to one of the chickens? Or we lost a chicken. And I'm like, what? I never heard anything. And there was feathers like all over. Well, the two roosters have gotten in a fight, and both of them are bloody. Yeah, we have enough area and enough hens that they should be fine. But they just got into it. So we had to separate them. And now they're trying to fight through the cage that the one's in. I mean, it's a pretty good sized cage that he's in, but they're still trying to fight through the hardware cloth. But probably the meanest rooster towards us was one of those white ones that we had. Those things were mean.
As I said, they came after us really bad.
Yeah, we sold some eggs here locally, but
because the grocery stores were out. We'll sell eggs of it sometimes, but not. It's just not. When people can buy eggs at the grocery store for 69 cents a dozen, or for a dozen and a half, or whatever it is, you just can't compete with that. So. Yeah, we all have our favorites. We'll say in our current hatch or flock of chickens, I don't really have a favorite chicken because none of them are like overly friendly. But I've had some favorite chickens that I really miss. Well, I'll tell you, we've had chickens for what, like 6 years now?
I think so. 6 years, yeah.
Okay, so it's been a long time since I went to the store and bought eggs. Because if our chickens aren't laying, if I bake or whatever, I'll just use flax eggs, which I know isn't the same, but I won't buy store-bought eggs. But when we went to HOA last year, the hotel had hard-boiled eggs on the buffet, and I can't have dairy, so my selections were way limited. So I'm like, okay, I'll just have a hard-boiled egg. That'd make a quick snack, later when I get hungry after what I could eat wore off. So I took that with me. We get to HOA, and I open it up. I crack the shell and peel it, whatever, and you couldn't even hardly tell the yolk from the egg white. Like, it was so pale. And I'm so used to having our hard-boiled eggs where, the yolk is like orangish yellow or really dark yellow. And it was just, I couldn't even eat it. I'm like, no.
We talked about saving eggs for the winter or when we don't have as many, but we've never done it successfully.
Well, I've never really tried that hard. We watched a video, I think it's from like Homesteading Family, is that what they go by or something, where she did she used a crock and she preserved them, and I thought about doing that, but I just have never had that many extra eggs. Now I am starting to have some extra eggs this year because I think we have 28 laying hens right now, which may be the most that we've ever taken through a winter. Yeah, I think it was called that. It was that water glassing one that we watched. One of them. I mean, I've watched several of them, but. But I know that's all some people can afford. Like, if you're on a, if you're on a really low income and you have kids, and yeah, I understand. And I try not to make anybody feel bad for what they can afford, but it's really hard to go back to that once you've had the eggs out of your backyard.
Really? It's gonna load in here. How do I go back? I lost the chat.
Uh-oh, Nathan broke it.
It's right here.
Okay. Oh, it's actually working over there. Hello, that girl in the garden. Yeah, I know. I'm really bad about it. I know. I've saw that if you keep eggs on the counter, it's like 1 week in the refrigerator. But I need to go through. I have a whole shelf of pickles right now. Some of them are starting to go bad, so I've been getting rid of those. I'll have more room for eggs there eventually.
Now it's way over here again. The chat. Fixed it.
Did you?
Maybe. Thanks for coming in, Daya.
See you around.
It could be that there's some
Yeah,
barley
they
in
could
there.
be getting spent brewer's grains, which would have barley in it. Yeah, I mean,
Well, the biggest problem we've had is when ours molt, usually it turns cold at the same time, and a lot of times they don't start laying again until spring. So we try to have a few coming in every year that aren't, they're have already started laying at that point, because they'll keep laying through the winter then.
so. Okay. Looks like the sun's coming out.
Sun? I thought it was supposed to rain today. Yeah,
That's
sun
what-
on a rainy day.
That's what the weather map said. I'm going to check the status of my brother. Let's see. You can keep talking.
Well, we didn't lose all production eggs this last year, but other years we have completely run out of eggs in the winter.
Yeah, it was,
We did try to freeze a few one year, but we didn't freeze nearly enough for it to make matter. Wow.
let's say
Sleep good.
let's see. With so many eggs or hens, we got like in the winter we got like 2 or 3 if they didn't break them every day, which is enough for us most of the time. But like sometimes they would break them, and then you wouldn't get any. So.
Well, they freeze in the winter.
Or they freeze before I could get out there. Well, and it wasn't supposed to rain till later, is what they said. But when I looked at the radar, it looked like there was rain coming up from Kentucky. Like it was just hitting Kentucky and coming up to us. But right now, it doesn't look like we're actually going to get it, which I'm okay with, because we've had a lot of. Well, the field's still pretty wet.
As I said, the fields are still pretty wet. It's been damp several times. Whew. Been damp on top several times, but... So, do you want me to talk about my excitement this week?
It's up to you.
Do they want me to talk about my excitement this week?
I don't know. Maybe no one wants to know. I don't think anybody wants to know about your excitement.
Okay. I came home Monday morning, so I worked my first day this week. The way out, I noticed the sign said, that you weren't supposed to come to work if you were coughing or sneezing, or if you had a fever.
But we've been checking.
To call HR and talk to them. And
No, but for the past couple of weeks, like through the past 3 weeks, you're supposed to be checking your temperature every day before you come into work. So we've been checking.
I have been checking my
And
temperature.
you've never had a fever.
But I was having problems with coughing and sneezing on
Monday morning.
I was gonna say Monday morning I was really short of breath, and I was having trouble coughing, and so remembering the notice on the door, I decided not to go in. By Tuesday night it hadn't got better, or by the time I was supposed to go in for Tuesday, it hadn't gotten any better, and so I called off that night, but it was too late to talk to HR. So I called HR the next day, and the nurse advised me to go ahead and call off that night and to call my family doctor if it had been longer than 24 hours. So I went ahead and called my family doctor, but I couldn't get in that day. And she said, well, tomorrow just come and you can park your car in the back parking lot and call us when you get there, and we'll come out and we'll make sure that you're okay. So I called them when I got to the parking lot, which was a strange experience. You sit in the car and you wait on the doctor to come. It seems like it almost would have been easier if we'd have made a house call, but so I waited till the doctor came out, and the doctor came out, and I felt sorry for the doctor, because the doctor usually walks into the room and then, there's the nurse is already taking your temperature and everything. Well, the doctor was the only one that came to the car, and she carried the thermometer out, she carried the stethoscope out, she carried her notepad out, she carried a test for flu and a test for strep throat out, she carried her exam for the nose things, the nose, throat, and ears out, and she carried the blood pressure cuff out. And she's just got all this in her hands, and she's, she can't put any of it down because it's all supposed to be sterile and okay. So she's just using it and trying to tuck it back into some pocket or another. And so she gets the 2 tests done, and she took my temperature first. She gets the flu test and the strep throat test done, and she runs those up. She goes, I'm going to have them start those right away. Well, she also handed off her temperature probe, and it's been a long time since they didn't just
Zap you?
since they just ran a thing across your forehead for a temperature, but she actually stuck it under my tongue, and she did all that at the car side, and she did an entire, what I'd say is pretty close to an entire checkup, except take my weight. And then she went back inside and she goes, I'm going to go inside, wash up, and take everything off. And she comes out in a mask and a face shield and everything. She goes, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to make a phone call and find out if I can get you a COVID-19 test if these come back negative. And so I wait in the car, and that was about 20 minutes. I didn't expect them to get the strep test back and the flu test that quick, because before, when I've waited, it hasn't come for a couple days. But she called me in 20 minutes and she's like, I'm going to bring an envelope of stuff out and put it in your car, and we're going to quarantine you for 2 weeks. And so they did. They put an envelope of stuff on the outside of the car, and they put it under the wiper blade and ran away. And she told me, she goes, well, I'm going to have you go ahead and get that COVID-19 test. And she ran me another 20 minutes away from the house to get that test to another town.
But
what?
Getting there was, getting the COVID test was interesting.
Well, you get to pull into a little white tent, and they come out.
Yeah, you drive in the tent.
You drive in, and then
out.
you never get out. And you make another phone call, and then they come out, and then they stick you in the nose with a pipe cleaner, not the soft ones they use for crafts. No, this is a hard cleaning pipe cleaner, and they stick you in the nose with that. And then she's like, don't sneeze or cough. It's gonna feel like you need to, but don't do that until I get out of the way. Well, they brain you with a pipe cleaner, so I'm not sure I wanted to just pass out when they were done. And she takes it away and she goes, are you okay? The other woman that was standing out there, she didn't have all the shielding on it and stuff, but she walked up and she's like, you need a tissue? I'm like, I'll take a tissue. But I really like to not do that again, ever. And so then you just drive away, but you're not allowed to get back out. I was in that car for 2.5 hours.
But okay, so they stuck that pipe cleaner up his nose, and he was still he still was complaining that it hurt. That was in the morning at 10 o'clock.
10:20.
10:20. And I don't know if it was 12 hours later, but in the evening it was still bothering him.
This is one of the less pleasant tests I've ever done. I don't know if it's the worst one I've ever done, but it's pretty close. It was not a fun one, and
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so that was on Wednesday, but you got...
So yesterday I got test results back and they tested negative. I am feeling better. I'm still really short.
But, okay, so in that, I had really thought, like, starting late last week or so, that we probably had it. Well, it was probably the weekend, but I wasn't sure, and we never had a fever, and that's what they said, you're gonna have a fever, you're gonna have a fever. But I couldn't breathe, like, and I can't say never, but I've had trouble breathing for 2 weeks or something, and it's been a lot worse for me than it has been Nathan for some reason, I don't know. But going out to feed cows, that's about... No, today wasn't bad at all. But 2 days ago, I had to take a break because I couldn't do it all. But yeah. So I don't know what we had. We're probably over it now, I would say. I mean, for the most part. When we was feeding cows, I got a little out of breath today, but nothing like I was.
To say, last night I went ahead and the doctor did advise me that because of my asthma, I should go ahead and take an emergency inhaler. She had the nurse call and advised me that I should go ahead and take my albuterol emergency inhaler right before I went to bed, keep my lungs clear overnight, and add extra pillows if that didn't take care of it. But the emergency inhaler seemed to have taken care of it last night, so I slept a lot better last night.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad the test was until Nathan had to do it, but... Yeah, someone said, well, maybe we had bronchitis, which, well, maybe, I don't know. But,
I wasn't worried about any of the stuff that I was going to get. I just was trying to follow the orders on the door at work, and I'm not really sorry that I'm home, but I wasn't even sure I wanted to go back when I went back, so I'm not really sorry I'm home right now. But since I have been home, we got to work on the beehives, and we'll probably continue to work on the beehives. So.
But maybe we're still contagious. I have no idea.
And I don't even know what we had, so we could be contagious, and I wouldn't want to give this to anybody that's already suffering with something. So. No,
because I was talking to my grandma, had said something about it, and she was convinced that I was gonna die or something. I don't know. But I wasn't that worried about it. I just, for someone who was older, I can imagine this would be really difficult if you had another underlying health condition, because I am, for the most part, pretty healthy, and I really struggled to get over this.
Well, I've had asthma my entire life, so I know what that's like. This just didn't feel like it eased up like asthma usually does.
And I have no problems with my lungs. I've never had any. And, like, just physical, like, anything physical wore me out. The 2 days ago when I had so much trouble feeding the cows, we fed the cows fairly early, like 11 or something. It took me at least 3 hours to recover from that. Like, I had to sit in the chair. I couldn't do anything because I got up. I was feeling sick. So I have no idea. How did you fix it? Because eventually I'd really like to get Nathan off his inhaler, because I don't think that that's probably... I mean, not being able to breathe is not good for you, but I don't think that probably the ingredients in that are very wholesome.
No, I've thought about, she works with allergy and asthma patients up here in, what is it, Cleveland area?
Yeah, somewhere over.
And she...
Might be Youngstown.
She works with them and tries to get them off of medication, and I like to work with her. Biggest problem is that if I were here at home, most of the time I don't have a problem, because I know when enough is enough and I can just stop working. But out, when I'm on the job, need to be able to keep working regardless of how I feel. So that's why
So say, Nathan and I were just talking about this earlier this week. Like, a lot, almost all the restaurants are closed, or they, some of them are still doing carry out or whatever. But when we first got married, we were talking about that. We had when Nathan was in college, so we'd go straight to college, his college classes after work. So we'd always 4 or 5 nights a week we'd eat out. Like, man, we don't even eat out 4 or 5 times a month anymore. Like, maybe once a month, maybe. But as I say, I made pizza last night, but I still use store bought. They're the Applegate. They're a little bit better for you, pepperonis, but they're still processed food. So.
Well, that wasn't. I don't know. Is the dough crucial to being pizza? Because that wasn't dough.
Okay, so we ordered flour from a mill in South Carolina. It's organic and everything. So we've been waiting on that because when I went to the grocery store, there was no more organic flour. And anyway, I've been buying 5 pounds of flour at the store, and the bag I buy is $4.99 for 5 pounds. So, $1 a pound. We ordered from this place online. Now the shipping was like $50 or something, but we paid less than $120 for whatever. Anyway, but it's less than $1. It's way less than $1 a pound for flour. But we're just waiting on that to come in. So we didn't have any flour last night. So I used I ground oats up. I made it into oat flour. Which it smelled really good. Even my mom said it smelled really good when since we're on quarantine, she picked our order up at Lowe's for the Last of Us Beehive stuff. And when she dropped it off, she's like, "What's that smell?" I said I made oat flour bread. It was crust, but
it's $1.46 a pound, right?
It is. I don't know. Wait, what's the 175?
I thought that's what it was with tax and shipping and everything.
I didn't think it was that high.
Maybe not.
Anyway, I don't know. But when Mom dropped it off, she said it smelled really good. And she doesn't think that a lot of the stuff I make sounds very good anyway, like sweet potato stuff. But so I made the oat flour crust, and it was not pizza crust. It was okay, just was a way different texture and had a different flavor.
Yeah, I grew up my mother used bulk flour. She used a lot of bulk goods. And I knew it was a lot cheaper. But this mill is all organic, and it seems like it is a lot cheaper. So. Well,
I really wanted to try that Eichhorn grain, but that's what slowed our order up. They didn't have it. We got in on the processing time was 2 weeks when we ordered it. Now I think it's up to 8 weeks. So, but we got 120 pounds of flour coming to us, so that should last us at least, let's see.
Yes, the old Eichhorn.
But they didn't have it, so I had to substitute. I didn't have to substitute. I could have just got a refund, but so we just substituted with another 50-pound bag of the
sprouted wheat flour, organic sprouted wheat flour.
Yeah. I haven't even tried buying yeast. I just been doing sourdough bread. I had my sourdough started way before this started. I don't know, did I start that in December?
No, I think it was
early January.
We may have started it in December.
I don't know. Anyway, that was the whole process getting that started, but now that I've got it started, I just do sourdough everything that requires yeast, which Nathan does not appreciate all the time, but...
Well, most of the time I don't mind the sourdough, but she used to soak a lot of our wheats And some of those I like better than the soaked stuff, and some of the soaked stuff doesn't work as well with the yeast. So, or with the sourdough as it does with the yeast. So,
Oh, Grandma's so happy has yeast.
yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, I haven't even tried looking when I went grocery shopping. Because
we haven't been eating yeast.
yeah.
We haven't. Like I said, we haven't used yeast in probably
Whatever.
about since you got the sourdough really rolling.
Yeah, and some of the recipes they call, put like how much ever sourdough starter and then put yeast in. So I'm like, why? If you have a
If you have a really good starter, then you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to use the yeast. I'm amazed at how fast the starter, once you add it to a recipe, how fast it works as a yeast. Because I know how much trouble we had getting the starter started.
yeah, that was a whole process. I don't know. Maybe we did a video on it, but maybe we did. I don't remember.
Well, I think we talked about it in a couple of lives, but I don't think we actually did a video on that.
But yeah, and I'm completely out of flour right now. So my starter is, I have 3 jars because I'm so paranoid about something happening, like mold growing in one, that I've split it off at different times to have a fresh one at all times. Yeah, I know when I first started it. Well, I know what started it. It was when Bumblebee Junction they started theirs. So we started ours right after they started theirs. But I joined that Needy's sourdough club or something, and that Heather of, I forget what her channel name is, something.
I don't remember either.
But she started a Facebook group, so I joined that, and I had said, because I couldn't bear to get rid of it at the beginning, and people were like, all these new people they were complaining that all these new people have all this starter that they're doing, they're not throwing it away, they're wasting flour. And she goes, all the experienced sourdough people, they just keep like a little bit in the refrigerator, and when they need it, they feed it and build it up or whatever. Well, that's fine, but when you're just starting, like, you're excited about this, like, don't kill someone's excitement. So, and I really wanted to say on that post, I didn't. I'm like, I don't waste it. I use it. Like, even if it's not true sourdough, I'm not wasting the flour. I'm still using it in recipes, like the discards. And the stuff I didn't use, I fed to the chickens, like this, because some of it did grow mold or smelled funny. So I gave it to the chickens, and they loved it. And chickens will eat anything, even if you don't want them to eat it, they'll still eat it.
It's called the Needy Homesteader.
The Needy Homesteader. Okay, but she has that Facebook group, and yeah. Well, so the almond flour and coconut flour, we used to use that, but it upsets Nathan's stomach for some reason. The almonds do.
So the coconut flour doesn't so much, but I don't like the coconut flour nearly as well as I do the almond.
But he can't have almond, like even whole almonds bother him. I don't know, maybe it's an allergic reaction, I don't know. It's not a severe allergic reaction, but it still could be an allergic reaction.
When we went carb free, I had a lot less problems with, or almost carb free.
The only carbs we had
wheat
was
free.
We didn't have potatoes, wheat, beans, rice. We
didn't have oats.
Really, the only carb we ate was sweet potatoes, which I was fine.
Peas.
Which I was fine with, yeah, and peas. Which I was fine with. But Nathan got tired of the sweet potatoes, and it took him like a year after we stopped doing that to be able to eat a sweet potato again. So that and we lost a lot of weight between the two of us. We lost a lot of weight when we did that, and I mean, I don't know. I've gained weight back, but I'm more physically active because that was when we lived in town. I'm more physically active now than I was then. So I put on some muscle. I mean, I'm not kidding myself. It's still way more than I should. But
Well, it does not actually seem to be a really bad reaction. It's all in my stomach. I mean, I have the same reaction if I eat too many peanuts. But if I lay out the peanuts, then I can have a handful of peanuts every so often, and it doesn't bother me at all. So I try not to eat too much foods that don't agree with me like that. Peppers don't like me really super well. As long as I just eat them in small quantities, it's really fine. I mean, we put peppers on our pizza last night, sweet pepper, banana peppers, and
Zucchini bothers you too?
zucchini bothers me.
I don't know what it is.
But peppers seem to be, especially if they're green. And I don't know what that has to do with anything.
She went back to Facebook. I keep threatening to leave the joint.
Leave Facebook?
Yeah, but now that I bought my ukuleles, they have a private ukulele group for the people who own that kind of ukulele. So, and they get on there and they do they play together on Sunday nights somehow. So I don't know if I want to join in on that, where I can learn how to play ukulele.
I've thought about doing that with the nuts. We soak our beans always, but
Not always.
well, okay, a lot of times we soaked our beans, especially right after we finished that being carb free. We'd soak almost all of our wheat products at least 24 hours.
Well, I don't know if it's 24 hours. It's more like probably 18.
But 18 to 24 hours. But we haven't done that in a long time.
Well, I still try to soak like I do overnight soaked pancakes if I make pancakes. I try, and I usually try to do the pizza crust at least the afternoon before I need it. So like that'd be 24 hours for the pizza crust. But last night was just on a whim, so maybe that would have helped if we would have let the
oats sit.
But I don't know. Maybe
I don't know that was different.
Yeah.
Both times we tried straight oat bread twice now, and both times it's just been, well, the first time it was barely okay, and the second time it was just okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Nuts, I mean, you can't really, I've never heard of, I mean, okay, I'm not going to say you can't, because you can grow citrus in Canada. So I'm not going to say, I don't really know of anybody who grows nuts around here. So that, I don't know. I want to try to get to the place when I knew I just had to ship flour for South Carolina. But I'm trying to get to the place where, like, either I grow it or I know who grows it locally. So, and I don't love nuts that much that we just can't, just skip them. Like, I don't know, I like cashew butter though.
Like I say, pecans don't bother me at all. And I like to have pecans because they don't. But almost every other nut we get a hold of does.
Okay, so
we probably should go and get on with our day and let everybody else get on with their day.
Because I have more chores to do. Sighting chores.
Think you have to go collect some eggs.
That's one of the things I have to do. Go fight the chickens off my eggs.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, when we, start these lives, I'm always nervous, but I really do enjoy talking to everybody once we get into this. So I'm glad that everyone could join us here. Have a good week.